Hey folks, it is Monday, June 23rd, and I'll make it quick this week. This is the final week of our June module, so it's a great opportunity to really dig in and dive in. If you've been busy this month and haven't had a whole lot of time, hopefully this week you can really carve out a little bit of time. There's been some great conversation happening in comments on some of the discussion questions as well as on people's portfolio pieces. I put together some suggestions this week to help you focus, one of which is to maybe spend a little bit of time looking at the two other modules that have been running in June, Care and Equity and Formats and Modalities. I suggested you might want to pick one of the resources from their readings and read it and maybe join in the annotations, thinking in particular about how it connects to what we've been talking about in tech and tools. One of the things that we say a lot in Design Forward, like one of the reasons we don't imagine this curriculum as linear, where people have to start with one module and then work through them in lockstep in a particular sequence, is because we see so much overlap between and among them. So it's really hard, for example, to talk about formats and the formats we teach in without also talking about potentially the technologies that we use to teach or how we care for students in these different modalities. So sometimes those connections are really obvious, right? Like, so when we're talking about teaching online, obviously we're talking about technology to some extent. Sometimes the connections are a little bit more oblique and we have to search for them and really take some time to consider where they occur. So I encourage you to do a little bit of that this week, particularly if you're feeling like, well, I've kind of joined in the conversations that have really resonated with me. I've read the stuff that seemed really pertinent. I've done some activities. Now what? Spend a little time looking at those other spaces and also getting to know what those folks have been doing for the last 3 weeks, because starting next week, we're all going to be working together in Designing for Education, which is our July module. And you'll be hearing from us next Monday with a dispatch for that module. I expect by the end of this week, I'll also be sending out a larger email to everybody, just sort of preparing them about what to expect in July. So hope you're all doing well and look forward to seeing you in the module.